Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are doing the November Shop My Stash. I always do a recap of the products that I used the month before just to kind of see how things went. And I do this more for myself. I don't know if you guys are interested in that part at all, but I like to kind of take notes so that I can kind of curate my collection down to what I really like. That's really important to me right now. So I want to make sure that I not only like things in my collection right now, but that I'm excited to use them because I am in the process always of kind of getting my collection down a bit because a lot of my stuff is getting older. I don't really go by expiration date, so this is kind of one way for me to see if I still like things, can make them work, if I'm just over stuff, you know. So that's kind of how I feel my Shop My Stashes have been beneficial to me besides just the obvious, rotating of your makeup. I do leave the timestamp down in the comments below, so definitely check that out so you can fast forward right to the November picks. But anyway, let's just get into what I brought in last month and thoughts on those. I have them right here in my little red box, and let's just get into it. So I brought in the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, and I decided to bring this in for 2 months. I did get some okay use out of it. I'm not going to get into too much depth with this because I will talk about it even more next month. But I am enjoying using them. I haven't really gotten into like the non-brown shades too much. There's a couple I haven't gotten to yet. So I just want to get more use out of this in general because I've had it for a couple years now and I feel like I never get to use it as much as I want to. I am trying to pan a color in that palette. But yeah, 1 more month with that. I brought in the Take Me Back to Brazil palette just to use the purple shades right here. Yeah, it's a lot to look at the entire palette, so I just chose to focus on the strip of 4 purple shades, and I really enjoyed using them. I was kind of hesitant, like I didn't want to wear them like towards the beginning of the month. I was just kind of like, yeah, I was too preoccupied with like my neutral shades. But I gotta say, I did create some very wearable daytime friendly looks. I'm actually wearing this palette on my eyes right now, like some of those shades, and I really enjoy them. But the way I was wearing it was like a more neutral shade on the lid with this like bright purple here in the corner in the crease, and it looked so nice. I thought it looked really nice. It was very simple, but it looked good. So it makes me want to pull this out even more now. But here's the Revolution Iconic Lights and Contour Pro Contour Palette. Been enjoying this. I'm going to keep it in another month. I know I was thinking it might be on the chopping block because I don't really know if I need this whole entire thing, and I'm not really big on depotting these days. I don't know if I ever really was into that. I had a moment where I was depotting things, but never really did it since. But the packaging's kind of not the best, and there's a lot of things in here I don't really use as much. For now, it's okay. I'm gonna boot out this Comfort Zone palette, the old school version of the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette. I only brought it in to use the 2 green shades in here, so I wanted to use this one and this one because of Halloween, I guess, like the vibe of green. I'm not really crazy about green eyeshadow, or haven't been, and I used both of those like one time, so I just wasn't really wanting to reach for that at all. Interesting. So who knows how long that's going to stay in my collection. These 2 Bareminerals eyeshadows, one is called Soul Sister, the other one is Charleston. These 2 have kind of been questionable for me in terms of keeping because I always forget what they look like on me and I just don't get excited to use them. I think because, now I could say this about a lot of my Bareminerals eyeshadows. They kind of all came out of the container and like it's a sifter jar, so. And while that's okay, I guess, for some of them because they're not like dark like this, I feel like this just gets messy because it's so dark. And it makes me not as excited to use it. I don't know. So I'm contemplating decluttering probably maybe both of these. Not because I don't think they're good or they don't work, or I actually like using those as eyeliners. But they're just those shadows that I always pull out every single year, and I'm like, okay, well, it's October, November, whatever, and then I'm just like, I put it on, I use it, I'm like, it's okay, it's not, it's cool. I've been using those as like all over the lid, smoky kind of colors, but I feel like I can do that with a lot of different shadows, and they don't look like a mess in the jar, so we'll see. The ColourPop shade in Mooning doesn't really do it justice here in the swatch, but I loved wearing this all over the lid, and it doesn't really look as brown on as it does in the jar. Like it almost has like a plum kind of look to it. So it's really pretty. So I was on the fence about this one, but I loved it. I wore it 3 times and I want to get more use out of this. So something to keep in mind for like projects for next year or usage goals. The Laura Geller blush in the shade Apricot Berry. I'm actually wearing this today. It's a beautiful glowy blush that I've always really liked, so I was glad to use this blush. This is the NYX blush in the shade Angel, which is just like a very cool toned pink. Really like this. It's just old. Don't like having all shimmery glowy blushes. I like to kind of tone it down some days. And here's another shimmery glowy blush. This is discontinued. This is Red Vino. Really enjoyed wearing this too. I was thinking it always looked really red, but it kind of goes on pinkish, like a very apricot pink with some glow in it too. So I really did enjoy using this. I might be pulling it out again soon just to get more use out of it because it's probably one of my least used blushes in my stash. I pulled in these 3 eyeliners. 2 are liquid. One's Physicians Formula, one is Almay, and this one is just an Avon one. I thought they were just fine. I used the black liquid liner the least. This one's actually called the Sexy Booster one. I use this the least, but I do really, really like this. I don't know why I used it the least. Maybe because it's, you know, I usually use this for like a winged eyeliner, and I don't always feel like putting in the effort some days, but like I really love the look of a winged eyeliner. So this brown liquid liner I used 7 times, and this one, the black one by Avon, I used 8 times. So even though this is a liquid liner, I still use this more than the black one. I think because brown is like a little bit easier to work with than a black inky liner sometimes. And it was just like a color that I like to use more like day to day as opposed to like a winged black eyeliner. So I feel like this has a more of like a formal vibe to it than this does. So I think that's another reason why I didn't reach for this one as much. But I don't really want to put these away per se for like next month because I am trying to get more use out of both of these liquid liners just because of how old they are. So I might keep these in for November and get more use out of them, or maybe just always have them out so I'm always using them and finishing them up. For lip products, I pulled in Del Rio by MAC. This really pretty brick, almost brick red. I used this 3 times. I'm very happy to have used this 3 times because I don't really tend to wear dark colors a whole lot. It's not like a regular kind of color for me. So 3 times was plenty. Decent lipstick. The other lipstick that I pulled in for the month was the Plum Brulee lipstick by Bareminerals. It's a really pretty plum lipstick, and I ended up creating a usage goal for this that I wanted to use it 5 times between my October and November Project Pan update. So I will be keeping this in for November as well, just to get that 5 uses out of it. Really, really love the lipstick, hate the packaging. Talked about that in my Project Pan video. Go check it out if you haven't seen it yet. I forgot to mention this lip liner that I brought in last month. This is the NYX Lip Liner in the shade Ever. I used this 4 times, but for some reason I don't even remember wearing it 4 times. I know I did, but like it's weird. I just wasn't really looking to reach for this at all for some reason this month. Just fell between the cracks a little bit for me. I almost considered this like a dupe for Pillow Talk. I don't know if that's really true or not. I don't know. You guys tell me. Does that look like Pillow Talk? It's just like a weird in-between color. It's not quite pink. It's not, I don't know. So I'm not sure if it just wasn't the right month for it or what, but I do want to get more use out of this and see what eye looks look good with this, because I feel like the times I did wear it, I wasn't really like loving it, you know, unless I mixed it with something. So gotta figure this NYX Ever lip pencil out. And also I pulled in the MAC Pearl highlighter, which will also remain in my stash for a little bit because I only had it in for a month. So it's a really, really pretty highlight. Of course, this lighting is not doing it any justice at all, but it is a really, really pretty highlighter. Just getting older and it's cream. You know how it works with my entire collection. Everything's getting older, so I'm really trying to get a lot of use out of a lot of the products before potentially having a turnover of sorts, which stay tuned for that because I have a feeling it's going to be coming. So yeah. So let's get into the products for November. All right, guys, it's time to pick out some eyeshadow, and I feel like this is getting harder and harder every month. I don't know why, but maybe it's because my choices aren't that exciting to me anymore. I feel like I've been through everything, but I'm gonna go for cranberry because I pulled that in November and it seems very appropriate. Could be pretty good for December too because, I don't know, it's very seasonal like that. Very pretty. Don't really wear cranberry at all throughout most of the year, which is a shame. So use it or lose it. November's the time. So we'll pull that one in. And I feel like I want to pull in a whole bunch of like purpley maroon kind of shades. So here is Sketch, brown purple, something like that. I can use that as an eyeliner, maybe as a crease shade, maybe an all over the lid. I mean, possibilities are endless here, but it doesn't have much use on it at all. I feel like now's the time. So that one will come in. And I know Star Violet's in here somewhere. Where the heck is it? Yeah, this one's Star Violet. So I'm gonna bring this guy in. It is on the purple side. All right, there it is underneath cranberry. So yeah, it is a little bit more golden than cranberry. I think that'll be nice to play with. I was thinking about these Ulta eyeshadow crayons, and I used these not too long ago in a project, and I told myself I wanted to get more use out of these in general. They're pretty neutral and easy to wear. So I might actually pull in this brown shade. And this one is called Cocoa Puff. There it is on the very bottom. So it's just like a very easy to wear, like shimmery kind of shade. I think that'll be good to get some use out of this because I said I wanted to do that when I had it in the project. All right, I did mention earlier I wanted to pull in the Chocolate Bar palette, so we're still going with that one for another month. I had it in last month. I think I'm also going to pull in this Pebble shade by Bareminerals. It is coming off a little bit brown and muddy here. I remember it looking a lot better than this. This is a horrible swatch, but that's the color. So it does look pretty on. It doesn't look very impressive in the jar itself, but it is a really nice wearable shade. So this will be a nice time to use this shade since I'm bringing in all those other like deeper colors and stuff. I randomly pulled this guy out of my Z palette, but this is the Ulta shade in Truffle. Very old. I hit pan on it because it wasn't a project. I think it was like my yearly project pan last year. Maybe I hit pan on it this year. I don't even remember now, but I really did like this color, but I haven't used it in a while, and because it is so old, and yes, it has a big divot there on the side because I did depot this one, I do want to get more use out of this, and it is just a cool toned, you know, taupey kind of shade, shimmery, and again, one of those shadows that kind of looks unimpressive in the pan, but it actually goes on really nicely. And I do want to increase the size of that pan a little bit more, you know. So very similar color story for all these eyeshadows. And if you look at the Chocolate Bar palette, it's like more of the same, like browns, like there's like purples, pinks, and it's like the same thing, but in singles right here. So I hope I don't get bored this month. I'm hoping I don't. I really hope I don't, because that would suck for all of November. But I'm open to bringing in other stuff if I really can't deal with so much purples and browns and all of that, but I'm happy to use them because it's one of those things that like I don't use this stuff other times of the year as much, so it's like now or never kind of, well, not never, but you know what I mean. I will be pulling in a few more things soon just because I am starting another mini project, so stay tuned for that. And I also do have other shadows that I am project panning, so at least there's those two. Okay, so I am going to pick out some blush right now, and just as a reminder, I am trying to pan a Wet n Wild blush right now, so I'm probably going to only pull in like one or two, and that's what I usually do anyway, but okay, so I'm going to pull in from this tray the Cargo Blu-Ray blush, which I had in my project pan last year, but I haven't really gotten a ton of use out of this recently, so it is a cooler toned pinky blush that is really pretty. It gives a very natural like flush to the cheeks, and I like that for most days, so that should be an easy one to wear. Just, I don't love that this packaging is broken at all, but it's still usable at least. I just don't like traveling with stuff like this, but this was a good one, so I'm gonna see how much use I can get out of this. And wow, this does look like it's just old. But hey, if it works, and I am trying to use my stuff, so okay. Do I want to pull in anything else from this tray? I don't think there's anything in this drawer right now. No, I just pulled that one in. Oh my goodness, I'm like struggling with decisions. This is the trio of Covergirl blushes that again, are super old. And I apologize for the dustiness all over this thing, but I'm gonna use this color right here. This is the shade Golden Peach by Covergirl. I feel like bad showing you guys like all my old stuff, but I feel like this is my reality right now. I don't have a whole lot of new makeup. I think that will give me a little bit of variety. So I'll have this to use, this Cargo blush, and of course I have the Wet n Wild one. And I know these are like oldies but goodies, I suppose, but I do feel like I need to kind of do something about my older makeup and some decisions there, because I feel, you can even tell in my voice, I'm just like feeling a little bit not that excited about things. I don't know why that is. I'm not sure if I'm just like going through something right now with my makeup collection or what, but this has been ongoing. So I probably need to make that declutter video pretty soon. Not that I'm gonna like depart with any of my blushes. I don't see that happening. Well, maybe 1 or 2 or 3. I don't know, but I do still think these are pretty and wearable. Maybe I'll throw them in a project later. Who knows? Okay, time for lip products. So, I'm just laughing because I'm just like, oh boy. I don't know why. I just like, I'm not. Yeah. Okay. Let me just shut up and get picking. Okay. So I have this shade called Push Up, and I feel like I pulled this in not too long ago, but that wouldn't surprise me because I don't really have a lot of shades left in my nudes. So I'm going to get some use out of this as my nude for the month. That's the shade right there. It's like right on the top. I used to really like these lip lingeries, and I just want to see if I can still use it at all. So we'll pull this one in. And honestly, I use a lot of these recently, and I'm not really inspired to pick anything from here. So, yeah, we'll put that back, and let's pull out some pinks here. I've been pulling like one from each tray. That's kind of been working out pretty well for me. And okay, I think I want to pull in Mac Craving, which again, I feel like I've pulled this in not too long ago, but that's how my lipsticks are kind of going because it's shrinking, my collection. And this is a color that I just can't or don't want to reach for regularly. And it doesn't seem like it's like a crazy color. It seems like it's kind of toned down. It's not really bright, so you would think that would be cool, but let me swatch it. There it is right next to the Push Up shade. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe I can make peace with this color this month. I don't know. See if it's still worth my time. I do mix colors together a lot too, so there's that. All right, the lighting's not the best down here, but this is where I keep my reds, purples, you know, darker colors like that. And I don't really wear these too often throughout the year because of the nature of these kinds of colors. I just don't tend to gravitate towards these in like the summer and spring. So definitely got to use these now while I'm in the mood to wear them. Lipstick Queen shade called Berry Sinner. And this is the vampiest lipstick in my collection. Very deep red, and it can be built up even more to a darker red. And it's really stunning on the lips. Very vampy, and I love that. I just don't wear it too much throughout the year, and there's plenty of it left, so it still performs okay, I think, and smells okay. Yeah, so we're just gonna use it this month and see how it goes, and you know, I'll be damned if I get 1 or 2 uses out of it this month, but hey, it's better than 0 uses, so we shall see. Honestly, I think those are the only lipsticks I'm bringing in this month, just because I have other stuff in projects that I'm also using. So I think this will be a good number just to kind of give myself some variety and get more usage out of these. And I can't wait to figure this one out and see if it still performs okay, because I need to figure that out before I do any kind of decluttering. So that's that. All right, continuing on with lip products. Here are my lip glosses. I know this isn't like a whole lot. This is all I have left. So, and I keep my setting sprays back there just because I have all the space. I am going to pull in, this is very predictable, but this, for me, it's predictable. This is the NYX Butter Gloss in Ginger Snap. It is a very dark brown lip gloss. So yeah, there it is. Very pretty. Again, not something I pull out any other time of the year typically. So gotta use it while I feel it's appropriate to use it. So, I mean, obviously you can wear this anytime during the year. I always try to say that because I know some people do wear like darker colors like this anytime, but that's just how personally I see this color. I'm trying to hold off on pulling in like, you know, lighter colored gloss because I have other Project Pan glosses like that. Usually use this again when the months get a little bit warmer. Yeah, this is the only lip gloss I'm going to pull in because I honestly don't know when else I would use this throughout the year, and I have project pan stuff. So I am keeping in the same bronzer and highlighter palette as well as this highlighter. I usually keep those in for 2 months, so just going to be using these again. All right, so now I'm going to pick out a different setting powder to use. I did receive this from influencers. I was kind of underwhelmed a little bit when I first used it, but then I find that it does film really nicely. Like, it does make my skin look a bit smoother, a little bit more airbrushed, and just like, I don't know. I don't necessarily notice it like in person, but when I film with it, it does look really nice. But yeah, I want to switch this one out just to, you know, rotate my powders. And I don't really have a whole lot of setting powders like this. These 4 are like the only ones I have. So that said, these still will take forever to use up. So I think I'm going to pull in this Laura Mercier, you know, the translucent loose setting powder. And it'll be interesting to try this after using the Tatcha one. And I think I like it, but I don't think I'm necessarily like as impressed with this as, you know, people on YouTube were saying at one point. They were really loving this thing and everybody was talking about it. And I was curious, and of course I got it, and it's okay. Just excited to get more use out of it. The Peach Perfect one, kind of falling out of love with that one. But yeah, I only use like one setting powder every 2 to 3 months, and then I switch it out again. And yeah, that's usually what I do with these. So I'm excited to pull this guy back in. My eyeliners and mascaras, this is where I keep them all. And I don't have a ton left of either of those categories, to be honest. I was using the clear brow gel last month, and I want to continue using this because it's a clear brow gel. I don't like really rotate that. I just forget to use it sometimes. So yeah, we'll keep trying to use that this month. My new mascara that I got, I will just be using that. This is the Anti-Gravity Milani mascara, the highly rated one. It's really, really good. I really love that one. Yeah, I am trying to pan the Marc Jacobs one. So this is just like a travel size one that I've been using for months, but still going a little bit. I can tell like there's less product in here, but yeah, I'm just going to be focusing on those 2 or these 3. And also for my eyeliners, I did mention that I kind of wanted to keep going with this Physicians Formula one. I might just like constantly be using that till it runs out. Same with this Almay Brown Topaz one. And there's really nothing left in that little spot. So yeah, my Morphe brow pencil in Java, I'm going to keep using that on and off. I'm kind of taking a break from this NYX cake powder. Do clean the packaging, I swear, but it just always looks dirty. I don't know. This is getting older, so I don't know what else to say about that, but I'm not going to use that this month, I don't think. But here are my eyeliners. And there's only one like specific eyeliner that I can think of that I want to pull in for this month that I think would make sense. So I'm going to pull in this MAC Prunella eyeliner that is one of my favorites. And the swatch looks like this. So I think it's aptly named. You know, it is the color of prunes, I guess. It's just like a purpley brownish dark color, and it's really, really pretty. It's one of my favorites. It looks awesome during any time of the year, really. I'll wear this anytime, but I do love it this time of the year especially. So yeah, just a really pretty eyeliner, very wearable, and honestly, I don't really feel like I'm that pulled to like specifically pick in any other eyeliner right now. If I want to reach into these, I can. Like there's like a gray one, a green one. I can always dip into here, but I am trying to use up a couple of eyeliners, and I do have some gel eyeliners too that I could use, but I just like not really feeling like using gels right now. Honestly, I can use my eyeshadows in my chocolate bar palette. If I want to use like a brown or something, I can, you know, use one of those. So mostly using these 3 though. So I'm going to stick with these 3 and call it a day with eyeliner, and then, you know, the mascaras that I just talked about. So I'm not going to be pulling in any foundation or concealer because I honestly only have like one of each of those. So I don't do that for those products. But yeah, definitely check out my latest haul video. And I'm doing air quotes because it's not like a crazy haul, but you know, culmination of stuff from the past couple months if you want to see what foundation I am currently using. Excited for my lipsticks because I haven't used these in a while. This is what my November is going to look like for the most part unless I get super bored. So thank you guys for watching my November Shop My Stash. I hope that you will come and join me for my other videos and, you know, continuing to declutter and curate my collection, and who knows, might be starting from scratch soon. I don't know. But yeah, so far this is it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.